This promotional video was commissioned by PorkFest.com.
Dave Ridley here, reporting in for freestateproject.org. It's Thanksgiving Day 2007, and both inside and outside this pretty Manchester home, the one thing you're allegedly not supposed to talk about on the holidays is the one thing everyone seems to be talking about. The topic is politics.
Somebody in the legislature pushing for higher taxes, right? They feel they need to be better funded, raise expenses, raise taxes. So you're saying they're going after what?
Well, they're doing it subvertly now. Instead of calling for sales taxes and income taxes, they're just pushing us to the brink that we'll have no choice. You know, they're getting us like the school education, the definition. Oh, the easy way. Let's better sales and income tax. Exactly. As you notice that it's the Democrats that are pushing for the definition of what an adequate education is, and making sure that they tag on that it has to have a specific dollar amount. If it didn't have a dollar amount and you were just able to live...
For that, besides the teachers union, who's pushing for that expanded tax and expanded spending?
The teachers union, they like local control. They don't want to see the state government take over the education system, because then they have less say.
As more and more Free Staters like Rochelle here move to New Hampshire, more and more eyes end up focused on the political process here. Now, Rochelle here from Manchester is involved mainly in two different kinds of political activism. Tell me a little bit about that, Rochelle.
Well, the political activism in the Free State is, you can either do like statewide activism, local activism, or like right now there's a lot of Ron Paul activism going on. Like right now everything is like Ron Paul. And every day of the week I swear there's something going on for Ron Paul. I'm shocked there isn't something going on today for Ron Paul. And then statewide, you can always go to the State House and do something. You can, well, right now it's kind of the off season, but starting in January they'll be having hearings and starting up the bills. And you can do bill reviewing with the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance.
And you're with the New Hampshire Liberty
Alliance,
right?
Too. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically that involves doing what exactly?
As each committee releases the bills that they're going to review and go through that session, you get the bill from generalcourt.org, I think that is.
So what Rochelle does is she reads the bill and rates it and then submits it back to the Free State Project, or back to the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance website. What do you find to be the funnest aspect of the political stuff that you're involved in, Rochelle?
Probably the sine waves, because you're not just sitting there like a lot of the stuff at the State House. You can actually talk to people and see immediately what kind of reaction you have. Whereas when you're at the State House sitting in the committees, it can get really boring and really depressing at times.
Now that's really interesting, and it's an indicator of how many different kinds of people like how many different kinds of things, because I like going to the State House hearings. I'm actually the opposite of Rochelle. Sine waves are okay, but I really like going to State House hearings and belly aching to the reps about the things I don't like. The system is very open, so a person like me, even a crazy anarchist-leaning guy like me, can go to the State House and be heard, and sometimes even taken seriously. And look at that, so we've got locked out on this video just like we did in the last video.
Get the damn cord!
Activists like Bill Walker here, who moved to Warner, New Hampshire in August of 2007 with his wife, is already involved in a couple of different types of political activism and expects to do more.
How anything that you can do can be compromised.
Bill, how have you enjoyed the political activism that you've been involved in so far since you moved to New Hampshire as a Free Stater?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, it's so much different up here from anywhere else I've been. There's a lot of people who are really involved, really excited. Pretty much anywhere you go, even if they're not involved directly in the Free State, you're going to meet a lot of people who really understand the issues, are really interested in the outcomes, and really want to get involved. You know, if you're wandering around, say, with a Ron Paul T-shirt or something like that, people will actually come up to you up here and ask you, "Hey, who is Ron Paul?"
Right, yeah.
And they really want to know. And so that's been a really great opportunity. It's really been kind of exciting to see that sort of interest and, intellectual conversations happening, anywhere you go. So, I like it a lot.
What kind of political activism do you anticipate being involved in once the Ron Paul campaign is over?
We're rolling. Basically, I would imagine that there are going to be a lot of issues that are brought up in the State House by various members of the Free State Project and other people up here in New Hampshire that realize what the important issues are. And so I would imagine that a lot of what I'll be doing is, maybe going to the State House and testifying for or against certain bills, maybe doing a lot of research and coming to the State House and trying to educate the legislators.
But what kind of activism do you enjoy the most in the political arena? Of course, there's all kinds of apolitical things that people can do, but in the political arena, what kind of activism do you enjoy the most?
Mostly, I like local politics, simply because most people understand exactly what you're talking about, because all politics are local and they understand that the issues directly affect them. Rather than things that are at the state or national level. And so you can speak to the legislatures, but you can also, while you're doing that, use the people who are actually voting, the constituents, use them as an audience so that you can educate them at the same time.
Every Free Stater get-together is a mix of the apolitical and the political, with very few exceptions.
Public and white trash.
But whatever they're focused on,
Systems. Well, this part, that part, right?
there sure seem to be a lot of them.
So, just from going across,
Political or apolitical,
down, block.
Free Staters always seem to have an impact beyond their numbers. It's enough to exhaust even the most ardent revolutionaries. Even as it invigorates the ever-growing remainder. This is Dave Ridley signing off from Manchester, New Hampshire for freestateproject.org.
Did you like, appreciate, and/or become dangerously excited by the preceding video? In that case, you need to get over to porkfest.com and sign up to see it for yourself.
Over here is Roger Grant.
Porcupine Fest is the annual gathering of Free Staters at Guilford, New Hampshire. And it makes the gathering you just saw look small by comparison. Sign up to be there at porkfest.com.